Good morning, Borough fans. Today we are going over our thoughts, our opinions on this game. As you can see in front of me, I've made the face cam of this a little bit bigger than last time because I noticed while watching it back it was a bit small. But if you do prefer the smaller face cam, do let me know. So we're going to jump into it straight away. It's going to be fairly short. We're just going to talk a few things about kind of our thoughts. Of course, the game hasn't happened yet. Yeah, as you can see on screen, it's 12 p.m. tomorrow, 12 p.m. kickoff, which is a good one. I'll probably just about have finished work for this, so hopefully I'm able to either watch it kind of like as I'm tidying stuff away. I'm a football coach. I'm a football youth development coach. For those that don't know me and don't know the channel, I'm a youth development football coach, like I said. I work with kids aged 2 all the way up to 10, and I recently started up my own coaching business, my own coaching company called KO Football Development, which is Kal Owen Football Development, which is my name, and Football Development. So pretty exciting to announce that here and now. First time ever that I'm properly announcing it, other than socials and stuff. So I've got my own coaching company. So tomorrow this game will literally be on while I'm probably packing away from one of my sessions. So hopefully I don't miss too much. To get straight into it, to kind of get the focus back onto things. This is probably one of, if not the biggest game of the season for us. I mean, 2 promotion chasing teams, 2 really good teams in the Championship, 2 teams that definitely could be in the Prem next season, along with Coventry, who just got announced yesterday about going up after their draw to Blackburn. I think I would pray that it would be Coventry, Ipswich, Borough. I'd really hate, honestly, to see Southampton go up again, because you just know they're going to come straight back down. I don't think Millwall are ready for the Prem. I know it's a bit maybe arrogant to say, considering they beat us, but we've been on crap form lately, so the fact they got a win and that it was Josh Coburn, I mean, since the Borough game, he's had one good game and been distinctly average, for the games after, and yes, they're a good team, but I mean, Norwich are a good team, but I wouldn't see them in the Prem. It's like Watford. Watford can be really good on their day, and then other times they could go and lose 4-0 to a team like Portsmouth. And I've got to give props to Portsmouth, because for some reason they've just found random form, as you can see on this slide here. They beat us 1-0 and they managed to beat Ipswich 2-0. So Portsmouth have found this kind of weird form of being able to pick apart the top flight teams. But so I'd really like to see Ipswich, Borough and Coventry in the Prem. It would also be nice for Borough, as a Borough fan, to obviously to go up. Hellberg said 100%, that he's gonna try his absolute hardest to get Borough in the Prem over his 3-year contract that he's got with Borough. But of course, Edwards had a 3-year deal and he decided to fuck off after 4 months. So let's just hope that we have one manager that actually sticks to his word and can talk about all this community stuff that we heard with Edwards, and actually sticks with it. And I think with a full season, Hellberg can really implement his style of play. I mean, we've seen it work wonders for us this season. It's just as soon as we get into the final push, we're missing Hackney, which is a big hit. Whittaker's out. I'm not a big fan of Whittaker, and I will hold my hands up and say I have doubted him. I don't think he's the same Whittaker we bought from Plymouth when he had that really amazing season. Yes, he's our top goal scorer, but for me personally, I don't think the way we play, we get the best out of him. It's a bit like Tommy Conway. Like, a lot of Borough fans will just sit there and say, either he's got an amazing work rate or people just straight up hate him. I love Tommy Conway. I think he's a really good player. I wanted to sign him when he was at Bristol. He's Scottish, which I love. And Scotland had enough faith in him to call him up to the national squad. But is he the striker for Borough? No. But is Kal Owen a better option? No. Is Strelic a better option? No. So realistically, if Hellberg plays Tommy Conway week in, week out at striker, I'm not going to say nothing. I think he is a really good player. He's just really inconsistent. Sometimes he can be smashing in front of goal. Other times he'll miss a sitter that's like on the bloody goal line and he'll just sky it over the bar. Or he'll make a pass when he should have shot, or shot when he should have passed. It's like he's just really inconsistent and really bad at making judgment calls, and especially with how he's playing at the minute, he's drifting off to the wing. He's not staying centrally where we need him. He's dropping way too far back. A bit like Harry Kane. Harry Kane for England. Not that I'm comparing Tommy Conway to Harry Kane, but if you watched England play, definitely like last 2 years, Harry Kane would always drop deep and almost come into the midfield and almost play like an 8, which is really bizarre for a striker to do. And I admire Tommy with his commitment, and like he will go into a tackle, and he's really progressive. Like he will play the ball and pass the ball and make runs and stuff, but he just takes too much on. I feel like sometimes he just takes too much on, and that really punishes us when it gets to the ball being played forward, where we need that number 9, we need that striker behind the ball. You've got Strelic, who is just in empty space, he's just looking up at the sky, waiting for the ball to land at his feet, and he gets in a 1v1 and he screws it up. Or you get Kal Owen, who's been a bit inconsistent, very much like Strelic, where you get the ball and you just lose it instantly. Like, we've signed 2 strikers in the window and none of them have been good. The best striker duo, if we go with the 2, will be Cruz, Ibe, our academy boy, and Tommy Conway. But if we go with a solo striker, just start Cruz. Just start Cruz. I think all Borough fans can agree we just want to see more of Ibe. And I mean, the system's not working. And I will touch on the system. I'm going to touch on the system now. This is our formation. This is the way we played against Portsmouth. He went with a 4-2-2, which has never worked. He played the 4-2-2 before. It doesn't work every time we play it, and it was just crap. I'm just going to say it was crap. It just is. It's absolutely abysmal, this formation. The problem with Hellberg I'm seeing a lot is he changes the formation way too often. It's not like he's tried, like 3 or 4 different formations since signing. It's like every week we're playing a different formation. It's a guessing game on what our formation is going to be. And he selects a 4-2-2, which doesn't work, and he plays it anyway. He doesn't even switch it up, during the game. It's like Gareth Southgate with England. I know I'm gonna piss on England. Basically, I support Scotland. I'm a Scottish But I identify as Scottish national anyway. I've got a lot of family roots up in Scotland. Was born in England, by the way. I was born in Shrewsbury, England. I'm now living in Redcar, which is just outside of Borough. But if people ask me who do you root for, I do root for Scotland. Probably why I'm a big fan of Tommy Conway. But yeah, Southgate made the same calls. He'd bring on subs in like the 85th minute where they had no time to make an impact. He'd start with a dodgy formation that wouldn't work. He'd go 4-5-0 down and stick with the same formation. And I just feel like Hellberg has got into that kind of rhythm. He's not changing anything. And I'll build my 11 in a bit and show you what I personally would play against Ipswich. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this formation. It doesn't work, and it proved against Portsmouth. It was such a boring game. It was 0-0 for basically the entire game until the 97th minute, where Connor Chaplin managed to score a tap-in, and gave him the 1-0 win. Even if we got a point from that game, I'd still have been pissed off. It was disgraceful. That game against Millwall, where we lost 2-0, the first half, why can't we play like that week in, week out? Even though it was 0-0. That first half against Millwall, we did great. We were playing great football, we were getting shots away, passes were brilliant, runs were brilliant. And then the second half, we kind of lost it. They put more pressure on us, they went for a low block. We're not a team that can defeat a low block. But that first 45 against Millwall, that's the Borough I want to see. I want to see the Borough that beat Southampton 4-0. Not the team that waits 96, 97 minutes against Portsmouth with a 0-0 scoreline just to concede a bloody last-minute winner. It's really frustrating as a Borough fan, especially when you've spent a lot of the season first and second alternating. First and second between Coventry. We've managed to close I think it was a 14, 15 point gap to Coventry, and we've just kind of lost it, because we're just so inconsistent, and it's so annoying as well. Yes, you could probably blame the change in manager. We changed the manager within 4 or 5 months because Edwards left, and we had to bring in Hellberg. But even under Hellberg, we were still doing really well. I think under Edwards, we went 14 games at the start of the season without getting a loss, which was mental. And I don't know who it was, but we lost our streak against somebody where basically Borough went on a run of 15 games of being the first to score and then winning the game. If Borough scored first, and went 1-0 up, we never lost that game for 15 straight games. And we just lost it, and it just seems like we've lost a lot of focus. And it's really hard to see and to watch as a Borough fan, because when you literally wear the badge on your heart and on your chest, you watch the team you love week in, week out, and you get results like this, it really hurts, especially when you're in the title contention, and when you're in playoff contention as well, or promotion contention, I should say. Anyway, let's touch a little bit on the game itself rather than just ripping into Borough. Switch it. Ipswich are a strong outfit, of course, rivals in regards to promotion. They've got some very good players: George Hurst, fellow Scotsman, Nunes, Clark, Dara O'Shea, Kipre. Walton's had a decent season. McAteer scored a really good goal. I watched McAteer play. He scored a really, really nice goal. Who else have they got? Palmer, Schuber, Jaden Philogene, Ashley Youngstick is still kicking about. But yeah, pretty strong team to go up against. Right off the bat, I'm going to go for a score prediction. I wasn't going to make a score prediction, but I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I'd really like Borough to get a win, but I just don't see us winning this one. It's either going to be a 1-1 draw or a 3-1 loss. We're either going to be in a close-knit game and get a draw and walk away with a point, or they're just going to absolutely just tear us in half. And we're gonna lose. And it hurts to say that, but I just don't see any kind of outcome where we're gonna walk away with a win here. And if we have a look at the rest of Borough's fixtures for the rest of the season, we've only got 3 left after this. We've got Sheffield Wednesday, which we should win. We've got Watford, we should win, and Wrexham, which we should win. We got a draw against them at home. I think it was a 1-1 draw when they played us earlier on in the season. But statistically, we don't do well with 12:30 kickoffs. So, yeah. Our away form's better than our home form. 2 away games, 2 home games. So I'm just praying and hoping that Borough can. I hope Borough win. I really hope we do. But yeah, 1-1 or a 3-1 loss. I'm going 1-1. I'm sticking with my guts and going with a 1-1 draw. Of course, we'll make predictions for the other 3 on other pods on their weeks, obviously. But for right now, let's build a starting lineup. Middlesbrough FC lineup builder. I should have this favourited, but I don't. So don't hate me. Starting with the goalkeeper, we've got Bryn, Wildsmith, McLaughlin. I don't know why I said we've got Dieng. We've got Solbryn, McLaughlin, Wildsmith. To be honest, Solbryn's been a bit rocky recently. Wildsmith we've not seen anything of. McLaughlin we brought in for some reason. I think we got him on a free. Is right now the right time to make a gamble? I don't think so. So I'm going to stick with Solbryn, even though he's been a bit dodgy with some of his calls lately. But I'm going to stick with Solbryn. I believe in him. Right back, I'm going to go Luke Ayling. I know Callum Britton's come back in, but Ayling is good and he turns up on big days. Personally, I think we've got to stick with our best centre-back duo. So I'm going to go with Dale Fry and Malander. I feel these 2 are our best centre-backs. This pairing is the best we've got. Left back, I believe Target's out with an injury. I think Bangura is also injured, but I'm going to go with Finn Munro nonetheless. I think Finn has been cracking for us, and anybody who says otherwise, you've got to give him time. When Tiggs is the main pick, and then Bangura is the second option. Somebody like Finn Munro, who's obviously got a lot of talent and a lot of potential, came through Swindon Town to join us. I think he's really good. I think he's going to become a really good left back. Right mid. Who do we play right mid? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm going to go... You know what? I don't care how controversial this is. I'm going to go with Hansen, and then I'm going to go Riley on the left. I'm going to go Riley and Hansen. I don't think Sarmiento is cut out for this team. I just don't think he's any good. I backed Sarmiento to begin with, but since he's come in, I'm not impressed. He's supposed to be this skillful, speedy winger, can play striker. We've not seen any of that. It came to us like winning the championship with 2 former teams. So he was like the man to bring in, and he's just not performed as well as we need him to. My centre mid duos stay the same. It's going to be Morris and Alan Brown. Of course, I would love it to be Hackney, but he's injured. Hopefully he's fit for Ipswich, but you never know. And then strikers, like I said, if you go with a duo, you go with the 2. You go with Tommy Conway and Cruzier Bay. For some reason he's listed as a midfielder, even though he's a striker. But yeah, there's my lineup. That's what I would play personally. So we've got Sawbrin, Ayling, Fry, Miranda, Monroe, Hansen, Brown, Morris, McGree, Conway, and Cruz Ibe. That is my starting 11. That is what I would personally play. It's probably not what Hellberg is going to play. Hellberg is going to play something completely different. Would this be the formation I play? No, it wouldn't. Will they have my formation? 3-4-1-2. So I would have Tommy and Cruz. I'd have Riley at cam. Tommy, Cruz, Riley at cam. Hansen would go left. Where's Hansen? Hansen. There he is. Alan would go right mid because he'd play right back. And who else is missing? Monroe. Oh, okay. Maybe. Sorry, I've just completely mucked this up, haven't I? Would I be comfortable playing Hansen as a centre mid? No. So Alan Brown, where is he? Brownie, there he is. And then Hansen on the right mid. That's what I would play personally against Ipswich. That formation. Yeah, I'd be comfortable if that lineup came out against Ipswich. I'd be comfortable enough for Borough to at least get a draw out of that. But yeah, as we look at other things, if it seems like I'm being a bit quiet, I do apologise. It is currently 20-12 at night, so if I am trying to keep it down a little bit, I do apologise. I didn't realise it was as late as it was before I started recording. But yeah, as we get back to it, just a few final details. Of course, if you want to check out my coaching company, I will leave a link in the description to my Instagram page, so you can check it out. There will be a website coming out soon, which will be awesome. Youth development, like I said, my company is specifically 5 to 14. So if you're watching this and you live local to Redcar or Middlesbrough, and you have kids, or you yourself are of the age, and you'd like to know more about us, check us out at KO Football Development. I was going to say, let me just bring it up on Instagram. This is when nothing shows up, isn't it? That's embarrassing. There you go. Loading in. There you go. This is the Facebook page. So as you can see, me right there, KO Football Development, developing the complete player. We welcome beginners. We are new. We are very, very new. Our first session, hopefully, is going to be next Sunday. So yeah, if you are interested, head over to the Instagram page, as seen on screen. This is our logo. I've got a few posts here. Most of them are the same. But yeah, if you wanna go and check what we're about or what I'm about, it's only me running it at the minute. But if you want to check, the website and see what we're about, by all means, there's me, Coach Gruffalo, aka Coach Owen. But to kind of end off a little bit here, I really hope Borough get a win. 1-1 draw is our prediction. We've shown you the starting lineup that we'd like to see. Touched a little bit on the team, on certain players. But yeah, if you've got any suggestions, if you want to see more stats towards the other team, if you want me to do a longer podcast, if you want them shorter, whatever you want. If you want me to try and do something, bring up a little bit more stats, if you need some more stats kind of things. If you want to see if I can kind of figure out a way to get some guests on, then that's maybe something that I could work towards in future. But yeah, hopefully we will have a more exciting background. You can see my doors over there, and my mirrors there. But yeah, usually I'm recommending my Borough top, but I'm about to head off to bed because I need to get up early tomorrow to go coach. But yeah, looking forward to the game, and hopefully we absolutely smash him, because I really hope we get some points here, especially since they're a promotion contender as well. They're a promotion rival. I really hope we can do some damage at Portman Road. So hopefully the Borough beat the Tractor Boys and we're able to take some points off McKenna. But yeah, I am looking at a 1-1 draw here. Anyway, I've been Kal Owen. This has been the Riverside Review, and up the Borough. I'll see you in the next one. This is kind of embarrassing. I forgot how to stop the screen record. This is really embarrassing because this is gonna make me edit as well.